Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanotimirandhasya Jnananjano Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. জয় শ্রীকৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য প্রভু নিত্যানন্দ শ্রী অদ্বৈত গদাধর শিবাসাদি গৌর ভক্তবৃন্দ হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে. Hare Krishna. In this video, we are trying to speak on a very difficult but important topic. We are trying to analyze why bad things happen to the good people or good things happen to the bad people. We are also trying to understand what is laws of karma, how it works, and how we should deal with the situation so that we can break this shackle of laws of karma. This video is very important, and the document taken all are from Bhagavad Gita and lectures of different senior Vaishnavas and Acharyas. So my only contribution is that I have taken the document from different books and compiled in this video. So in case I have made some mistake in doing this, kindly forgive me, and if you really like this video, the like is for the knowledge which is a divine knowledge, transcendental knowledge, and which is coming on disciplic succession from millions of lives together. So I do not want to take any credit out of it. Let's start the subject. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. In this video, we are trying to explain how the laws of karma works, and as per Vedas, how they have their different impacts even beyond our one life cycle. Let's begin with a story. One time in our Puranic period, one Brahmin was taking bath in the river. Suddenly he saw one cow came running and entered into his cottage. The Brahmin didn't mind because he was a protector of the cow. He thought it is okay. But after some time he saw a butcher came running with an open sword in his hand. Now the butcher asked the Brahmin, kindly tell me, where is the cow? The Brahmin thought for a while. If he tells truth, then the cow will be killed. But if he tells lie, he will do wrong on his dharma. Because he is a Brahmin, he is supposed to tell the truth. So he thought for a while and he concluded that he will tell the truth. He pointed that his cottage with his right hand. So immediately the butcher went inside, dragged the cow out, and slaughtered him in front of the Brahmin. The Brahmin felt very bad, but he could not do anything because he followed the dharma. Now let's come to another story. Many years after that, another situation, one Brahmin was very tired walking in a village. He saw a very wealthy merchant's house, and when he went to the merchant house, he asked the merchant if he can lie down on the outside veranda for the whole night for some rest. The gentleman said, absolutely no problem. Oh, the priest, please do that. So the Brahmin laid down on that veranda, and in the middle of the night, he saw that the lady of the house came out with very provocative dresses, and she suggested to him, "You see, you are young, I am also young, let us go to the jungle and let us enjoy." The Brahmin said, "What are you saying? This cannot happen, because in our Shastra it is told, Matrabat Parostri. Parostri means you are already married, somebody's wife. I have to think you as mother. How that can happen?" Then that lady was insisting, but the Brahmin said he cannot do something like this. So the lady said, "Okay, you are not cooperating with me. I will teach you a lesson." And what she did, she took a knife in her hand, went inside the room, and he stabbed that person, that merchant, many times, and he died. And then she came out and started shouting and crying. And when she started shouting and crying, there are a lot of people, the village panchayat and everybody gathered. Then she said that, "You see, this man is very lusty, although he is a Brahmin. He wanted to enjoy with me. Because I did not agree to his proposal, he has killed my husband, and this is the knife." Now everybody was listening to that lady and not taking side of the Brahmin. The Brahmin was shell shocked. He could not believe that the lady could generate this kind of lie and create a situation like that. So he was shocked. Then the panchayat gave a decision that he is a Brahmin. We cannot kill him. So do something. Cut his right hand. With whom? With the hand he has stabbed that person. Cut his hand. So finally the people came with a sharp weapon. They cut that hand. So he went out of the house. He did not want to stay there anymore. He was walking, came out of the village, and he was taking rest under a tree, and he was actually meditating to Lord, what happened to me? Why, despite of doing well throughout my life, this has happened to me? What may be the reason? So then he got a some kind of dream, some kind of knowledge, and in that dream he saw that in last birth he was a Brahmin, and he pointed out with his right hand to his house about a cow, and the butcher came and killed the cow. So in this life, he got a Brahmin body because he followed the dharma, he followed the correct dharma. So he got a Brahmin body. The cow became that lady, and the butcher who killed that cow became that merchant. Because the butcher killed the cow in this life, that lady killed that merchant, and her karma gets completely full. And because the Brahmin became a Brahmin because of telling the truth, but because he did not follow the correct principle, and he followed only the textbook spirituality, textbook religious principle, his hand was cut, with which he committed mistake by showing the direction of the bull, direction of the cow. So you see, what we understand from this story, that the law of karma is not a simple thing. It is very complicated, and it works also very complicated way. There is something called Sanchit karma. Sanchit karma is karma which are accumulated over millions of life, and they are like our stored deposit. And there is something called Prarabdha karma. Prarabdha karma is the result of this karma which has now become due for due for delivery. Those results are allotted to us for this life. So from Sanchit karma, every life, some amount of karma is converted into prarabdha karma, and that is given for that particular life. And we get that karma with pap, punna, with sukh, dukkha, because if already only sukh comes, only dukkha comes, we will not be able to tolerate. So we are given some amount of pap, some amount of punna, and these prarabdha karmas kept on happening like that. And in this life, the amount of karma we do, they are again converted into future sanchit karma. But I will go to the great detail of this of these laws of karma in this video. but I thought to start the story. So suppose I am walking on the road and by mistake I have killed an ant and the ant is in great pain. It may so happen after some time my foot can get hit on a table and I can get pain. I would not understand why it is happening. But that may be because of the reason that karma done by me is coming back. So, how to understand the laws of karma, how to get rid of this karma is the subject of the discussion in this video. Kindly follow the video till end and let us proceed further.
As long as we are in this material world, whether we like or we do not like, we will have to work. For a moment also, we cannot stay without working, because material world is designed in such a way that without work we cannot stay alive also. Even when we are not working, we are still working either through our mind or through our senses, and we are still getting the reactions of those work. So first thing we need to understand who actually works when we work. In Bhagavad Gita, slok number 3.27, it is told, Prakite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasa ahankaro vimuratma kartaham iti mannate. If we translate in English, as translation given by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada, it is told, the spirit soul, bewildered by the influence of false ego, thinks himself the doer for activities that are in actuality carried out by the three modes of material nature. Now we need to think of a few terms before we go in great detail. So, in our heart or in our gross body, subtle body, we have our mind, intelligence, and false ego. And our soul, who is the real karta of our body, is covered by the gross body, which is our earth, water, air, fire, and ether, and also the subtle body, the mind, intelligence, and ego. So, soul only desires that he wants to do the work. The Paramatma, sitting in along with the soul, he permits that whether this work he is eligible for doing the work or not. If he is eligible for doing the work, he will be able to do the work. Like for instance, suppose I decide that I want to eat a food. For eating a food, there are many activities I need to do. First, I need to raise my hand. Second, I need to take the food from plate, take it inside my lips, chew, and then digest. Now, if Paramatma sees that I am eligible for eating this food, he will give me permission so that I will be able to raise my hand. It happens in many cases, although we wish to do some work, we cannot do. Like for instance, if somebody has a Parkinson disease, despite of he wishing, he will not be able to raise the hand. So, when we actually do the work, there are three people or three entities who are involved in doing the work. One, the soul, who is the actual owner of us, the real we, he is the desirer. The Paramatma or super soul gives the permission, and the material nature, he actually does the activity so that he does. And in material nature, they have got three gunas or three modes. One is called Tamogun, Rajogun, and Sattvagun. Tamogun is the mood of ignorance, Rajogun is the mood of passion, and Sattvagun is the mood of goodness. Now these three gunas, they act on us, and based on their power, our limbs or our body works as far as the work happens. So if we understand this, then the problem is less. But as the Bhagavad Gita slok is telling, ahankaro vimuratma kartahamiti mannate. Our false ego is so strong, we forget the whole cycle, and we do not give credit neither to the super soul nor to the material nature, but rather we want to take credit of doing any work. Now, moment we want to take credit of doing something, obviously we will have to accept the result of that also. So this conception, who works when we work, has to be very clearly understood before we go ahead.
In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, slok number 17, Lord is telling, Karman yapi budhabbang bodhabbang cha vikarmanah akarmanascha bodhavyang Gahana Karmena Gati. The intricacies of action are very hard to understand. Therefore, one should know properly what action is, what forbidden action is, and what inaction is. Let's understand the sloka in little detail. It is told, you see, the 3 point or 4 point where I have marked the red marks, one word is coming as karma, another word is coming as bikarma, and third word is coming as akarma. And in the last, Lord is telling Gahana Karmena Gati. So Gahana Karmena Gati means the Karmano means the karma. Gati means its movement. So movement of karma is very, very complicated because Srila Prabhupada is translating Gahana word, he is translating the intricacies. So we have seen that in previous story what I told about the cow and the Brahmin story, how difficult the karma can create the result in people's way of life. So here we need to get into more detailed discussion, and therefore let's take one by one these words and try to understand how Gahana Karmana Gati works, influences us. So Srila Prabhupada has gone ahead and explained in the purport of the karma, akarma, and bikarma in great detail. And also, if we go to Sri Ishopanishad, a very clear definition is given there. It is told, actions that free one from the cycle of birth and death are called akarma. So I repeat, actions that free one from the cycle of birth and death is called akarma. Actions that are performed in terms of one prescribed duties as mentioned in the revealed scripture are called karma. What does it mean? What are the revealed scripture? This word revealed scripture is very important. What is revealed scripture? Revealed scripture is nothing but Vedas, Upanishad. Those are revealed scripture. So wherever in the revealed scripture the prescribed duties are given for anyone, as long as he is following those prescribed duties, that is called karma. And the actions that are performed through the misuse of one's freedom and that direct one to the lower life form are called bikarma. So bikarma is what? If we are doing something which is against the prescribed description in Shastra, that karma actually binds us to lot of sinful reaction, and finally it takes us to the lower species of life. When I say lower species of life, what actually we mean? Today, I am a human being. By deciding to doing certain karma, I can decide and choose to go to a cow or dog or any other animal. That's called lower species of life. So in the previous slide, I was showing you that there is something called, which is called the three modes of nature. Rajogun, Tamogun, Satogun. Under influence of these three modes of nature, whatever action we do, that creates our destiny, whether we will be free from the results of that karma, then those karmas are called akarma. If that does not free but does not entangle also, or as long as their prescribed duty, that is karma, and which completely entangles and takes in the lower life, that is bikarma. So Srila Prabhupada goes in more detail and gives some example. So what is akarma? Akarma is all activities that are performed without any material expectation, but just to please Krishna, will have no reaction, and hence they are called akarma. So I give a simple meaning. Suppose I am going to work today in my office. If I am working in my office, if I do the work for pleasure of Krishna, that office work will not give any reaction, and that's called akarma. So what is reaction? Any work we do that will give equal and opposite reaction. Those reactions, depending upon the type I am working, can give us the piety or can give us sin. But there are certain activity which are transcendental in nature. They neither give any positive impact nor give any negative impact. Those works are called akarma. So a intelligent Krishna conscious person, when he distribute Bhagavad Gita for the benefit of the recipient of their life, benefit of the life of the recipient, then he does not attract any action, any reaction to its action. Therefore, that's a akarma. Similarly, when a Krishna conscious person, when he collects fund for the purpose of distributing, making a Krishna temple, or making a community, or making a annadan or something like that, his work does not call for any reaction. Another example, when someone offers bhoga for pleasure of lordship, that work does not draw any reaction. Those are akarma. Or when somebody is making a garland for the deities, that will consider no reaction, that is akarma. If you remember in Mahabharata, Arjuna, he fought the entire war as directed by Sri Krishna because he wanted to help Sri Krishna to remove all the sinners at that point of time. Therefore, although he killed so many people, but his work did not bring any negative reaction, and those became akarma. So, if we do our office work, when we do our office work under normal condition, it will actually give us some karma, some reaction it will give. So, if we put some part of our income to the charity for the Krishna conscious work, then we can get rid of those reactions. But I will come in great detail in later part of the presentation. Let's stop here about the definition status, what is akarma. Then the next definition is, what is karma? Karma is whatever has the prescribed duty according to the qualification, position and occupation, that is called karma. Like for instance, a Kshatriya, his job is to protect the subjects. Therefore, he has to take up the bow and arrow, he has to fight, he has to protect that. So, his job demands that he is supposed to fight with people and bring justice. So, that is the prescribed duty as per Shastra for him. So, therefore, that becomes his karma. And in previous days, there was Varnashram Dharma, which has now disappeared. In Varnashram Dharma, there were Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra based on the qualification and the tendency of a person based on the three modes of nature, not by the way of their taking bath or by because of their ancestors. Those qualification, the Brahmin was supposed to distribute knowledge, doing puja. As long as Brahmin was doing that, his activity would have been called as a karma. As long as A grahastha who is supposed to maintain his family, he is earning money in a rightful way, in the all legitimacy. He is earning money is considered as a karma for him. So we need to understand whatever our prescribed work, as long as we are doing that work is called karma. And why we need to do karma? Because the more we perform this prescribed work, the more we progress to the spirituality. If we stop doing the prescribed work, then of course we will not make any progress and we will get affected by the activity which unknowingly we are doing and the reaction they will bring into. Now, this karma can also be divided into three categories called Vihita karma, Kamya karma, and Nishiddha karma. Vihita karma is the karma which is of highest status, which is supposed to be done by us. Kamya karma is the activity which I like to do, and Nishiddha karma is for me which activity I am not supposed to do. I am just giving three examples. Suppose I am a student. As a student, as long as I am studying my book for acquiring knowledge, I am doing my Vihita karma. But there are certain karma which are my Kamya karma. Kamya means I want to do it. For instance, as a student, at some time I would like to look into the WhatsApp, look into the Facebook at the time of study, and I will try to spend time on that. That is called Kamya karma. As a student, if I do copying, if I see pornography, if I do some other activity which you are not supposed to do, those come under Nishiddha karma. So, depending upon the type of karma we choose, the reactions will also come accordingly. Now, in the next slide, we will talk of something called B karma. What is B karma? B karma are the activity which are against the prescribed duty list written in Shastra, and they are, as per our Shastras, they are grossly categorized in the four category. The first category is meat eating. What is meat eating? We are killing some animal or killing someone and eating their meat in any form. So that is the first category, which is a B karma. The second category is some kind of intoxication. It can be wine, alcohol, cigarette, it can be tea, coffee, some kind of intoxication. If you are intoxicated, that is the second pillars of that sinful life. The third is gambling. What is the definition of gambling? Definition of gambling is where we are trying to earn something without depending on our skill, but mostly dependent on different kind of luck factors. That's called gambling. And gambling is considered is also the third kind of sinful life. And the fourth is illicit sex. Illicit sex need not be physical illicit sex. In the mental condition also, if someone considers of illicit sex or relationship with someone illicitly, looks into pornography, they fall in that category. So, in our Bhagavad Gita, it is very clearly told that when a person is performing bikarma, he is actually inviting the negative reaction of his work, and therefore he is earning, which is normally called as pap or sin. Now those sinful reactions are very complicated. Suppose, as I was telling some time back, suppose you yourselves are not eating meat, or yourself you are not eating fish, but you are contributing to a subject where meat eating is encouraged. Like for instance, I am a, I am not so, but imagine I am a hardware person. I make some machines, and that machines are used for the slaughterhouse. Now, if the cows or the buffaloes or the goats are slaughtered there, because they are manufacturer of the machine, I am getting karma out of that. It is not necessary I may be a vegetarian, but my activity is such that is supporting to a meat eating. or maybe my software may be such which is increasing the shelf life of the alcohol bottle. I am earning karma on account of that. Maybe I am writing a data analysis program by which the stock market or the option trading or the gambling or the lottery system is working. I am earning karma out of that. Maybe these things are so intricate, so complicated, we do not understand. So when in Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 17th number chapter and 38th sloka, it is very clearly written, Duyatam panam striya shuna yatra adharmasya chaturvidha. It is telling Duyatam panam striya shuna. Yatro, wherever there is gambling, wherever there is drinking, Duyatam means gambling, drinking means panam, Striyashuta means in illicit sex. Yatro, at that point only, Adharmasya Chaturvida, these four type of things will call for the adharmic activity. So, if we read Mahabharata, when Parikshit Maharaj came, and I also give that example to Parikshit Maharaj session in my another session in my YouTube video channel. When Kali came and he requested Parikshit Maharaj that I need places where I can stay, he gave him these four places to stay actually. So Kali first came in these four places. So therefore, we need to be very careful of bikarma, because the more amount of bikarma we are doing, Vikarmas are not sanctioned by Shastra. When we are doing this Vikarma, we definitely are getting the reaction, sinful reaction on account of that. And all sinful reaction will ultimately take you in the hellish planet, and not only that, it will give you the birth in a form which is lesser than the form. As I was telling previously, that a person who has this in his mind that I want to get birth in America, I want to go to America, I want to go to America, but he could not go to America. So when he dies, if in his mind the strong feeling is there, because it says in the Bhagavad Gita 8.6, it is stated that uh, where whatever thought process very strongly is there in the last moment of your life, that thought process gives you the new body. So if he is thinking that I need to go to America, that thought process will be strong, that desire will be strong. He will get a body in America, no doubt, but the body, whether he will get a body of a human being or a cockroach, that will depend what karma he is doing. So these bikarmas actually contribute to those kind of work. Somebody is eating too much amount of meat, probably will get a body which is conducive to meat eating. Maybe tiger, maybe dog. Somebody is very much thinking of sex throughout the day and night, may get a body of a pigeon which has the highest fertility rate. So we need to be very careful of bikarmas, because they alone can drag us down. So when we fall down, those sinful reactions actually drag us to other form of life, or the sinful reaction which gives us the impact which we do not like to have. For instance, as we all know that in human form of life, we have got developed intelligence, and therefore we can choose to determine what is responsible work and what is sinful work. But despite of that, if one engages in sinful activities of duyatam panam striya suna, that means meat eating, intoxication, gambling, and illicit sex, and it may not be directly like that. If we are involved in the some to some extent the one of form of that, even that also will give us similar impact. For instance, when we say illicit sex, it is not necessary somebody has to physically do illicit sex. If somebody thinks in that line, or if sometimes spends time in seeing pornography, he makes those kind of he draws those kind of sinful reaction. For instance, intoxication. Intoxication is not necessarily intoxicating only beer, alcohol, or drinks. Intoxication can come from chocolate or tea also, which also make people addicted to something. So we need to be very careful which four activity are getting impacted and which we should avoid. Now, what happens under that situation? You know, in Bhagavad Gita, it is told that at the end of the life, when somebody reaches the last stage, that is in 8.68 chapter 6 slok, Lord is telling, whatever strong desire is there in his mind, he gets a body based on that. Like for instance, if somebody wants to do lot of he wants to expose, like in the picture what we are showing, this lady is trying to expose her body. Maybe in the next life she will get a body of a tree where there is no opportunity of wearing any dress. Or if someone wants to spend time in eating lot of non-veg food, at the time of death, his that non-veg food eating idea only will keep in mind. So therefore he will get a body where he will be very comfortable to eating non-veg food. Maybe tiger, maybe lion, maybe dog, those kind of body he may have. In quite often, our Prabhuji give one example that, and it's very apt example, that suppose you it's a story. He says that when he used to read in IIT, there was a boy who was very much interested to go to America. So day in the morning, day in the night, he keeps on talks about America, 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 and America. So suppose this person does not get chance of going to America and his death comes. So at the point of death, he, because of his thought of America, the last thought which will be very strong in his mind is going to America. So he will get a body in America for sure. Now, whether he will get a body of a human being, or he will get a body of a tree, or he will get a body of a cockroach, that will depend how much amount of karma he has done when he is a human being. I hope I am clear. So, last thought and the past deeds, karma and the last thought, these two will create his body, and therefore, there is something very interesting of the reaction of the karma. Reaction of the karma, we may get instantly, we may get quite delayed. There are certain action which calls for instant reaction. For instance, if we put our hand in fire, for no in no time it will get burnt and we will get a shock out of it. Or in the picture, the boy is hitting someone, he may hit back immediately. These are called instant reaction. But there are some karma which is done at certain point of time. It takes very long time to get fructified. For instance, if someone sows a apple seed, the apple seed will grow to a full bloom tree and the apples will come out many years later. Or sometime if someone is smoking a cigarette as shown in the picture, the he may get cancer over many years of his smoking cigarette. Sometime these reactions go over several lifetime. That means we have been doing one karma at certain life and the reaction we may get after 2-3 lives also. So when we see that we might have not done anything bad to anyone in this life, why something bad is happening, that is because we are getting reaction for some of the karma which we might have performed quite some time back. Further, there is a very good example or good explanation is given in Srimad Bhagavatam. In Srimad Bhagavatam, this result of karma is classified in different category. There is something called Sanchita karma. What is Sanchita karma? Sanchita karma means which is saved or stored karma for many lives, millions of lives. That karma is called Sanchita karma. And from that Sanchita karma, when somebody gets a life, he is allotted a sum of that karma which is called prarabdha karma. And prarabdha karma means when a child is taking birth, out of his total, let's say he has got, I'm just giving example, 100 kg of sanchita karma. He will probably give 1 kg of prarabdha karma, and in 1 kg prarabdha karma, he may be given based on the mode in which he is now taking birth, maybe 40 grams of, zero point 0.4 kg or 400 grams of sinful reaction, pap, and 600 grams of punna. He has to, if he is given only sin or only piety, he will not be able to handle. So both of these things he will be given. So he has to complete that cycle and clear that much karma in that life. So from sanchita karma of 100 kg, 1 kg is finished in this life, 99 kg is remaining. This is called the conception of the sanchita and prarabdha karma. And this continues. Now, if somebody's prarabdha karma is very, very negative, he may not get a human life at all. But when whatever life he will get, his sins will get nullified one by one. If somebody's now there is some karma which is called kutam. What is kutam? Kutam is there are some kind of karmic reaction which in sinful act has they have just evolved into a psychological possibility towards sin. So there are karmas, but they have just been converted into a sin. It have not yet been converted into prarabdha or total sin. But the kutam is they have just in the tendency, they have just moved from the sanchita level to prarabdha level. In between they are there, sinful reaction level they are there. They will finally become a full blown sinful reaction or desire or bijam, and it will manifest as a sinful behavior prarabdha later on. But so sinful behavior of prarabdha will come in the later, sinful behavior of bijam will come after, before that. So kutam is the starting point. And what is aprarabdha? Aprarabdha is something similar to kutam but little advanced from. It is prarabdha means which has been allocated, aprarabdha which are in the queue. And what is kriyomana? Kriyomana is the karma which we are now incurring because of our present work. Whatever work we are doing now, because of that we are doing the kriyomana karma. So what I was telling in the beginning of this slide, that we have only this kriyomana karma in our hand. Whatever we are doing in this life, we need to be very careful so that they don't get converted into a bijam, kutam or sanchit karma, because tomorrow that will be impacted in the prarabdha karma also. I hope this example is clear. It is little, I told in the beginning, because Lord himself is telling Gahana Karmena Gati, it is complicated, integrated, but it is very interesting also. So whenever we get a sinful reaction, instead of blaming someone, instead of blaming God, instead of blaming our parents, our teachers, our girlfriend, we need to think something happened, something was done by me in past. I am just getting the result. Let us accept it, tolerate it, and move forward. Do good to others, to do devotional service, and move forward, so that no more another karma is getting added actually. Then in Srimad Bhagavatam, also it is there in Bhagavad Gita 9.21 also. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is an entire description of 14 planetary system. So in 14 planetary system, the 7th planetary system is the Bhulok. Bhulok means, Bhurloki means the area, the universes where Earth or world is also present. There are many universes here. Earth is not the only universe. There are many universes which comes in Bhulok. And as we go up, Bhubalok, Swarlok, Maharlok, Gyanalok, Topolok, Satyalok, we will go up to the upper planetary system. These are all universes. As we go down, Atala, Bitala, Suratala, Dhala, Taratala and Patala, they are all downward area is that your downward planetary system. Now, when somebody is doing, whatever activity he is doing, as a human being, he has a choice to do either good activity or bad activity. If he does the more about of karma, which is on the which is in the sattvagun, which is in the good nature, then he adds piety or punna in his credit, and because of the punna credit, next birth he keeps on going up, 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 and finally up to Swarglok. When he goes to Swarglok, he has opportunity of enjoying the goodness of life for a very long time. At the same time, when his the amount of pap he is doing, he gets the opportunity of seeing the lokas which are below our bhutal. So he will finally go to hellish planets like Patala and all, and he will be tortured there. Now, when he gets tortured, he will, whether he gets tortured in Patal or he gets a very good life in Sarga, they are all temporary. Because in Bhagavad Gita 9.21 it is told, Sine Punne Morta Lokang Vishanti, which means when he will in Sarglok, as soon as his credit gets complete, suppose for going to Sarglok he requires 3000 credit point. Now let us assume at some point of time this person has got, he has got, let's say 4000 credit point. So what will happen? He will immediately go to Sargalok and start staying there. How long he will stay? As long as it is touching 3100. The moment it becomes 3000, there is a possibility the next loka, maybe Janaloka, is okay for having 2500. He will come and stay here. Slowly he will come, and when the credit will be only 200 or 150, that may be good for Vurvor Loka. He will come and stay in the Vul Loka. Similarly, if he has negative credit, he will go to the lowest planet, and slowly he will come back. As and when his quota is complete, he will again come back to the Bhuval Loka. And now after coming back to the Bhuval Loka, he will get a body again based on the his activity at that point of time, what activity he did, and based on that he will get a human body again actually. So what I am actually trying to say, in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is very clearly given these lokas, and the movement of the lokas are possible only by the punna and papa actually. Now, how do we get out of that situation? Is it permanent with us, or what we can do about it? So in Bhagavad Gita 4.18 and 4.19, there is a conception of action in inaction and inaction in action. So the Srila Prabhupada writes into purport, the yogis or the bhaktas or the highest level transcendentalists, they are able to see action in inaction, and also they are able to see inaction in action. So what is action? I give a very simple definition which creates reaction is action, and what is inaction, which does not create any reaction, is inaction is reaction. So what does it mean? Suppose when I am doing a activity for the pleasure of God, when I am doing a preparing a garland for my deity, although I am doing a action, I am doing activity, I am doing karma, but that is not generating any reaction. So those kind of activity will be called action actually. And even if I am running since morning to evening, but I am running behind earning money, and at the point I am deceiving someone, at the point I am cheating someone, I am actually continuously creating reaction. So although I am doing action there, it will be seen as a inaction. So this is the conception of action into inaction and inaction into action. And therefore, it is always told that perform your obligatory duty, which I told in the beginning, your duty which are prescribed by the scripture, perform that without keeping any expectation. Then that action will be much better than doing inaction. Okay, I forgot to mention that. There is another meaning of the word inaction. The meaning of the another word inaction is not doing anything. So there are a lot of transcendentalists which are called Brahmavadi or Mayavadi. They are under conception that because there is lot of reaction to the work, let us not do any work at all. So there is also a conception, let us go and meditate in a cave, and we will be free from inaction. So that's wrong. That cannot happen. Because when you are meditating in a caves, in the process of meditation also you are killing lot of animal. You are killing lot of insects. You are killing lot of virus, and they are all souls. They are all jivas. And therefore for killing them, you are getting reaction for your activity. But because you are not doing your action in the service of the Lord, you have no power to negate that. So therefore you are getting reaction. Whereas if in this birth, if we do activity which are for the pleasure of the God, or if we do activity which will be purifying us, although this inaction, although these reactions will come, we will be able to tolerate that. Just I am giving another example. Suppose I work in a, let's assume, it may not be, I may not be so qualified. Let's assume that I can write a good software program. Now, in principle, if I write a software program, it will appear to me a very noble activity. It cannot offer any reaction by writing a software program. But imagine, I write a software program and that program goes and used in a company which makes pesticide, and that pesticide is used to kill certain jivas. So you can understand, I will also get part of the reaction of that. So today it is very difficult for us to get out of those kind of reaction. Or maybe when I am driving a car, unknowingly to me, maybe a small ant or maybe a small uh, cockroach, something came under my car, and I drove away to that. That jiva got killed, and that reaction I'll have to get, right? So how do we free us from those reactions? For that, we need to do the obligatory duty, and without any expectation of any result, and surrendering that work to Lord. If we do that, we will get rid of those kind of reaction. And another thing which can purify is, which is devotional service. If somebody does bhajan, kirtan, nam sankirtan, somebody does chanting of the bead bag, then automatically whatever reaction we get, that reaction we will be able to get rid of. So it is very important, and we need to know how do we break this cycle. So let us touch that chapter in the next slide. So how do we break the cycle? In Bhagavad Gita, immediately next slok 4.20, Bhagavan is saying, Tvakta karmo phala sangam nityatripto nirasrayo karmanna abhiprabitto pinoiva kischit karoti sa, abandoning all attachment to the result of the activity. Ever satisfied and independent, he performs no fruitive action, although engaged in all kinds of undertaking. So let's understand this line. I am telling, let's assume there is a, let's assume that there is a very low kind of person, a butcher. His job is to kill animal and cut into pieces. As long as he is cutting those animals for his own pleasure, he will get all reaction. But if he cuts this animal to free them from their animal life cycle and get a new life, he will not get any reaction. Little difficult to understand, but I will explain. In previous days, the only time when the animals used to be killed was during yagga. Because in yagga, if the animals are offered, immediately they were going to the swarglok, or get not swarglok, they will get rid of the animal body and get to a human life actually. Now a butcher who is engaging his work to do that, he will not get the reaction. Similarly, if we do our activity, if any activity is given to us, he is telling, if we get out of the attachment to the result of the activity. Today, whatever activity we do, in our mind, first question come, what will be the result? Shall I pass or shall I fail? As long as we are thinking like that, we will keep on getting result of that activity. But as told into the first sloka, Prakitte kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha
Ahankaro Vimuratma Kartahamiti Mannate. I told in the first slok 3.27. Here Lord is telling that actions are not being done by you. You are just agreeing to do something, wishing to do something. Paramatma is approving, and the three modes of material nature getting it done by you. As long as we understand that, we will not get attached to the result of the activity. We will surrender the result to Krishna. We will say, okay, so let's take an example. I have got a job in, say, X company. Now, how I have got a job? I have not got a job just like that, right? I have acquired some knowledge to get that job. Now, who has given me that buddhi? Lord has given me that buddhi. I have appeared in the interview, and in the interview, that person has selected me to get the job. So, who has inspired the Lord, inspired the person to select me? Because Paramatma sitting inside him, Paramatma sitting inside me, seeing both the people. Paramatma, when he approves, then I am getting selected to get the job. When I have got the job, when some assignment is given, that assignment is given by, actually it is Krishna's assignment. We are only doing temporarily for his satisfaction. So what we should do? We should use the best foot forward and do as best as we can. And after that, if the result does not come as we wish, we should leave it to Krishna. And if the result also comes very good, then also it should leave it to Krishna. If that is the mentality, then we don't get the karma fall, and that not only we don't get the karma fall, we actually get freed from that. So it is told in Puranas and also in Srimad Bhagavatam, chanting gives us that kind of freedom. If we do chanting regularly, the glorification of Lord's name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Whatever reactions we get, our sanchita karma also get deleted. Only prarabdha karma which has been allotted to us, we need to enjoy that. Other karmas get deleted because of chanting. So as long as we are in that kind of mentality, like in the famous sloka of Bhagavad Gita, what Krishna is telling in 2.47, karma neva udhikarastu ma phaleshu kadachana. On the result of the fall you have no right. So he is telling in 4.20 also same thing. Taktva karma phala sangam. If you leave the attachment to the result of the activity. And imagine, even if our general life, in our project life, if somebody leave the attachment to the project work, how successful it can be. If the attachment is there, then we start fighting, whether it is my success or your success, my failure or your failure, and we do not get the desired result anytime. Similarly, we can do material work, we can convert it and spiritualize also. Like for instance, in this group, this gentleman is doing kirtan, and when he is doing kirtan, he may be using, you see the next photo, he is using the microphone, he is using the harmonium. Now the same microphone, if it is used for the purpose of doing one Bollywood song, or same microphone is used for the purpose of a political speech, it is not spiritualized. But when this same microphone is used for the purpose of singing kirtan, glorifying the glory of the God, it is spiritualized, and he is not getting any reaction out of that. In fact, spiritualization and material work, on that Bhagavan is telling in Bhagavad Gita 12 chapter 8 number slok, Maye ebo mana adhyastang mayi buddhi niveshaya nivashishashi mayi ebba ato urdhona samshaya. He is telling, just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all intelligence in me. Then you will live in me always, there is no doubt. If you keep on thinking Krishna while doing every work, you will always be with Krishna. And therefore, when Krishna is there with you, you cannot go wrong. And Krishna will actually relieve you from the shackle of these karmas actually. And now, let's take a practical example how we can do akarma, that means work where we will not draw any reaction. In Bhagavad Gita 9.27,
Krishna is telling, Jat karoshi jadatnashi jajjuhoshi dadashi jat tapasyashi konteya tat kurusho madarpanam. It means, Srila Prabhupada writes the translation, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. So, in the previous slide, we saw that the best example of doing akarma, performing akarma, is doing devotional service. We also saw the example that the great personalities or great sages who, in one way, one mind, who does service to devotional service to Krishna, they definitely do not get any reaction to their work. But as a householder, as a normal living being, that may not be a practical solution for us. And Krishna also does not want everyone to leave their personal life or householder life and go and do bhajan sitting in a temple. That has been clarified in many slokas in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna told Bhagavad Gita to not to a saint, but he told to a warrior and a king, Arjun. So he is giving a very possible solution how we can find a workaround of that. So that solution he is telling, Jat karoshi, whatever you do, Jat ashnashi, whatever you eat, Jat juhoshi, whatever you offer, Dadasi jat, or you give away, whatever austerities you perform, Jat tapasyashi, he is telling, perform as an offering to me. What exactly that means? You know, as I told in the previous slides, that whatever activity we do, whatever food we take, we do only one part of that. Rest are based on the Paramatma's permission and also nature, three modes of nature's performance, those things happen. So when we are doing something, instead of doing, thinking that we are the doer, if we think that this job has been given by Krishna to me, I will perform to the best of my ability, and the result of that I will surrender to Krishna's lotus feet. So when we do in that serving mood, service mood, then of course we do not get any reaction of that karma. So for instance, I always give this example, and in recent one of the class I also told, if somebody enters in a room, what is the first thing comes in is visible there. So we have seen today that the moment we enter in a living room, the first thing we see is a television and maybe a sofa set or a chair. So people are spending their maximum time in and around television. So, and if we search where is Krishna, then we will see either Krishna or deities of some demigod or some photos of the demigod in one corner of one of the room. Instead of that, what Krishna is saying, bring your Krishna consciousness to the center of your life. Your Krishna's altar should be in the center of your room. Whatever you do, you show your gratitude to Krishna. You think that because of Krishna's grace, it is possible for you to do, for you to eat, for you to give away, for you to do austerity, and therefore you surrender that to Krishna and do that activity. So many a time, as I told in some of the sections also I mentioned earlier, that imagine I do not have qualification, but imagine I am a software developer. I am writing a software. So when I am writing a software, undoubtedly I do not always know where and why the software will be used. It may so happen that the software, although looks some naive, but it is used for some pesticide manufacturing company, and therefore the jivas, the living entities like pest and all, they are killed using my software. So I am getting some kind of reaction from that work also. Or think that I am giving money to someone as a dan, and I do not know what that person is doing that with the money. He is going and drinking liquor out of that money. Definitely I am getting a reaction out of that. Or think I am doing a dan or some kind of donation to a committee where people are not very straightforward. They are actually harassing others or doing some unlawful action. Because I am associated with that, I am getting reaction. How do we get rid of all of them? So when I write a software, I get a salary. If that part of the salary, if I offer to Krishna for or Krishna conscious activity, Krishna conscious activity can be giving donation to a Krishna temple, distributing Bhagavad Gita, going to a pilgrimage of Krishna's place, or sponsoring a Annadan or food for life celebration to someone, or otherwise, if we cannot do any one of them, we can ourselves do Krishna service in our home using that money. A part of that, if we use, then whatever amount we are getting, that gets spiritualized. Similarly, the activity, what we are doing, if we do remembering Krishna, we are doing akarma and we do not get any reaction out of that. This is very important conception to take, because we unless and until we think Krishna in the middle of our life, the activities does not give us that satisfaction what we expect actually, and therefore we get the impacts. On the contrary, there are Mayavadis who think because the world is mitha, Brahma Sattva Jagat mitha, Mayavadis say. What is the point of working? Let us go somewhere and do bhajan. So if they do not work, they cannot avoid this reaction. Because even if you do a bhajan sitting inside a cave, you are taking your breath, and in that breath lot of viruses and bacteria are dying. Or you may be walking on a street, lot of ants are dying, and those karmas are coming to you. And because you are not doing the karma to in the remembrance of Krishna, you cannot purify that. So Krishna gives a very simple formula. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, keep Krishna in the middle. So therefore, if any project is being successful, do not take the credit. Or for a particular project, if you are not successful, do not get disheartened also, because you are supposed to give your 100% effort, and the result is because of Krishna. In that famous sloka Bhagavad Gita 2.47, what Lord is telling? He is telling very clearly that karman neva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. On the fall, you do not have any right. So this is an important conception, and we know that the amount of reaction we can avoid by doing a karma, it is as good as doing no action. So action in inaction is doing action where we are not getting reaction. Inaction is action is doing action but we are also getting reaction. So if we summarize, we have found in the whole episode that for every karma there is a opposite and equal reaction, which allows us to, we need to choose the action where reaction will not be there, and we called in Vedas as akarma. Akarma can be best done by direct devotional service to Krishna. But since it is not a practical, alternative is we need to do all household activities to the best of our ability and in the mood of service to Krishna. And while doing those activities, we should surrender the credit or discredit of fruit or result of these works to Lord only, accepting all situations like sorrow, happiness, fame, insult, as it is as a grace of God, and tolerate them, and do not penalize the person who is causing that, is another mantra to clear our karma. And also, when you are compassionate to every jivas around us, and we become empathetic, and also considerate for that while dealing with them, we save our karma. And last but not the least, as I told in the first slide, we need to do chant the glories of Lord, every day, and as much chant we do, we nullify our sanchit karma and also aparabdha karma also. I hope you have liked this presentation. You can always connect with me because this subject is very big. It is difficult to put in a 1 hour slot. I have tried the best whatever I have heard, but if we need more discussion, I am always open for that. So you can comment or connect me with an email. Hare Krishna.